Hey guys, welcome back to Gap Gracepoint Online. It's always great to welcome you guys, and it's actually really exciting today because today we find ourselves at the end of another month, but at the beginning of something exciting. It is the 29th of November. Can you believe how this year has flown? And in one more week, we will already be in December as we start to get ready for our December holidays, for Christmas, and it's an exciting time. But before we get into more of that, let's spend some time going to worship. Guys, I want to welcome each and every one of you that is joining us, whether it's your first time or you're coming back. It's really great to be with you. So we're going to head over to our cross-culture band now. We've got some familiar faces, some unfamiliar faces, but regardless, we get to worship together with them. So please enjoy.
Good morning, church. It's so good to be here with you this morning. We're going to worship together, so come on, let's sing it out. When night has fallen and fear is coming, still you're calling me. When faith is lost and my hope exhausted, you will be my strength. When my mind says I'm not good enough, God, you're enough for me. I've decided I'm not giving up, 'cause you won't give up on me. You won't give up on me. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo, echoing my soul. In every season, you keep repeating promises to me. Now there's no stopping what you have started until it is complete. When my mind says I'm not good enough, God, you're enough for me. I've decided I'm not giving up, 'cause you won't give up on me. You won't give up on me. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo, echoing my soul. Decided I'm not giving up. You won't give up on me. You won't give up on me. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo. Come on, church. 'Cause your love is holding on and it won't let go. 'Cause I feel it breaking out, breaking out. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo. Your love is holding on and it won't let go. I feel it breaking out like an echo, echoing my soul. Echoing my soul.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. Worship's always fun with our team, but today we are going into a different type of lesson. It is the end of the year, and we are looking forward to our school holidays. It might be a time where you're really, really excited about because finally you get to do what you want to do. You don't have to worry about school, you don't have to worry about the pressure of sports and all those things and all the stuff that this year has been like. You finally get to enjoy this time. And you finally get to think about just you and what you want to do. But there's something we need to remember today, and that is that Christmas and these special times of the year, yes, they're about us. Yes, they're about rest, but we cannot forget about two important things. One, we cannot forget about God in this time, and two, we cannot forget about others. And so today we're speaking about serving God and serving others. There's this beautiful picture I want to share with you guys, and that is this idea of a ripple. If you've ever seen a body of water like a lake or a river that's kind of flowing slowly, you'll know that if you throw a small pebble or even a seed or something with a little bit of weight into it, it will make a splash, but then eventually it ripples, which means it makes those rings. If we think about that idea, that's what it's like to serve God and to serve others. In the center of that ripple, we serve God. We say to God, I am who you created me to be, and I will use my gifts and my talents to serve you. Then the outside ring, the next one that ripples from that, is wanting to help and serve those around us. We know that God has created us to be in a community, and it means that we cannot just be all by ourselves, focusing just on ourselves. We need to be thinking about the people around us. So then we have our family, then we have our friends, we have people that we don't know but that need help, and so the ripple continues and continues and continues. Eventually, if this ripple continues, we find the whole world that is able to be served by God through us. And so we find a way to share our gifts and talents. That's another thing that's important today, is that God has given us each gifts and talents, and that's a way of serving others. There's a special scripture from Romans 12, verse 4 to 6 that I'd love us to read together today. And so let's have a look what it says. So Romans 12, verse 4 to 6 says this: just as our bodies have many parts and each part has a special function, so it is with Christ's body. Now remember, this picture that the Bible gives us is that we all are one body with many parts. We are one big family of Jesus when we belong to Jesus, and each of us is different yet special and very important to this body. We are many parts of one body, and we all belong to each other. In His grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. So if God has given you the ability to prophesy, speak out with as much faith as God has given you. So this scripture speaks all about these different gifts that God has given us, that as we are different, you and I have different gifts and talents, but yet each of us is super important. If I serve people with my gifts and talents, it is amazing. But if you also join me in serving other people and God with your gifts and talents, it goes a lot further, because you can do things because of God-given ability that I can't do. And I can do things that you may not be able to do because of your different giftings. My gifts are not better than yours. Your gifts are not better than mine. They're just different, and they're all as important. And so what does it mean to serve people today? There's lots of different meanings. If you look it up in the definition in the dictionary, you'll find that there's more than 20 different definitions for it. It can mean to give food, it can mean to help other people. There's lots of meanings. But today we mean using our gifts and talents to help others. So one last thing about serving others is that attitude matters. Think about it. The days that your parents or you or a sibling are grumpy, do you want to be around them? Do you want to help them? I don't think so. If I'm honest, I don't want to. So I think you guys are probably the same, and you wouldn't want to either. Attitude matters. How we do something is important. We can't be grumpy and sour and angry about having to help others and serve God. That's why we've been created, is to be with God, to find God's will and to follow it, and to show God's will to others through the way we live. When we have a good attitude, when we serve others, it shows other people what God is like. We are ambassadors of Jesus Christ. And that means as we live and serve, people look at us and they see Jesus. And they start forming opinions about whether Jesus is good, bad, grumpy, friendly, helpful, however we are, that's how sometimes people think God and Jesus are. And so attitude matters. What we do, how we serve, and all those types of things, that is really very important. And so a few questions that to think about for today. So the first question is, who do you serve with your life? There's a way that we can serve ourselves, which means living just for ourselves, or we can serve God, which means living in a way that tries to do what God has asked us to do. So think about it. Who do you serve with your life? Secondly, what do you do to serve others? There's lots of creative ways we can think of to serve other people. And then lastly, what kind of gifts did you find in that passage? Do you know about the gifts that you have? And how can you think about using some of those gifts? If you're really good at just being generally helpful around the home, maybe December you can give your parents a break and help do some extra chores. It might not be fun at first, but think about what it will mean for people who see you. They will see someone who is kind and helpful and caring about others. That teaches them about how Jesus was. It will also help your parents, giving them a break and showing them gratitude that you are grateful for what they do for you. And one really last question is, how can you be a willing servant at your home? I want to encourage you guys to really think about this. Yes, December is a fun time. I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm not saying don't rest, don't enjoy it, but don't let it just be about you. Don't forget God and don't forget others in this special time. And so guys, as we head into December, don't forget what we've learned today. It is really a special time and it's a really awesome time to start thinking about what God would like us to do. And so I'll see you guys next week as we start the December together, our first week of Advent, and we will just really have a good time in Christmas together. All the best for what lies ahead this week. Some people are finishing school this week. Some people are still home and finishing exams or tests. Guys, all the best. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you again next week. Bye.